Hi everybody. Hi Itamar. Itamar.
We've been living in sin for all this time.
So, we want to talk today about the High Sparrow, everyone's least favorite character in the show and in the books, I think. Everybody loves to hate on the High Sparrow, and seemingly for good reason.
Yeah. He's a religious fanatic.
Nobody likes a religious fanatic.
No. Doesn't seem like he has a sense of humor. He takes religion very seriously.
Right.
And since his arrival to King's Landing, look at all the things that he has done.
He has shamed Cersei.
Shame.
He has shamed Marjorie.
Shame.
He has imprisoned and beaten and tortured Laura Tyrell.
And for what?
For what? Just for being gay?
For loving people?
That's not cool. He's always preaching, he's high and mighty. I'm better than everyone. Okay, he says, I'm not better. I'm a sinner as well, but I speak for God.
People in King's Landing, minding their own business after a hard toil, a hard day of work,
Right.
drinking a glass of wine or beer, visiting some brothels, and here with his goody two-shoes he comes and ruin everything, spills the
Right.
wine, close all the brothels. Come on!
It's very frightening
Yeah.
to see that kind of leader, and nobody would support that kind of leader
Today.
today.
But we're talking about the medieval times.
Okay.
So we have to understand the character of the High Sparrow and the Sparrow movement in its historical context. We're talking about medieval times in which the political system is based on injustice,
Right.
on inequality. And this inequality, these friction points between the ruled and the rulers are surfacing especially in times of war.
But we today, we support gay rights, obviously. So this guy is against gay rights. He has imprisoned Laura Tyrell only for being gay. So how can we support that? Of course we don't.
That's sexist, anachronistic, anti-Semitic, anachronistic.
What do you mean anachronistic?
Anachronistic means judging a certain historical period using our own morals, which is
Our own morals?
our own contemporary morals.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just anachronistic. So can you name me one character that is for gay rights? Yeah, everyone knows Laura is sleeping with guys and stuff like that, and no one is doing nothing about it. But it's not because of morals; it's because it's a part of the elite.
Okay.
If they will find like two gay men from the village, maybe the lord of the castle, the lord of the fiefdom, will
Okay.
say, "Oh, you are breaking the laws
God's
of gods
law.
and men." So if we judge the High Sparrow and the Sparrow movement
Okay.
in the context of these times, we need to want them to succeed.
We need to want the High Sparrow to succeed.
Yes, the movement.
The movement, the High Sparrow movement.
Religion is very, very important in the medieval times. It can be used like technology. It can be used for good stuff. It can be used for bad stuff.
Okay, it's very deep.
The disdain that we have today from religious behavior,
Religious extremism.
from religious extremism, is based on how we see the religious extremists of our time,
Okay.
in which their extremism is more or less a reaction to modernism, to secularism.
Right.
Back in the day, most religion was part of your identity, like your nation is part of your
Right.
identity. You don't think about it all the time. You don't rationalize it all
Right.
the time. This is the way it is.
And there was no secular humanism back in the day.
No,
So that wasn't even an option
no.
for someone to promote rights for the common people based on secular humanistic ideals.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take our own modern, progressive, cosmopolitan, whatever values, and let's judge some of the beloved characters in the story and see how they turn up so we don't have a double standard specifically against the High Sparrow.
Okay.
So let's take maybe the most noble character in the story, Ned Flanders.
Ned
Right.
Stark.
Ned Stark.
It's for capital punishment.
Right. And he didn't even listen to the man in the first episode who ran away because of the White Walkers, and he was right, but he was killed nonetheless. Because whatever, the law is the law. That guy didn't get a fair trial.
No, but we like him because he executed him himself.
and he had his 10-year-old boy or 8-year-old boy
Yeah,
watch. That's fucked up.
He's
Fucked up.
he's a fucking lord.
Fucking Lord.
Yeah. His whole position, his whole political position is based on his blood, not on his merit.
On exploitation.
Exploitation, yeah. Ned is sitting on top of his chair in his high castle, while all the people, the 99%, they work and toil.
On his land.
On his land, his property.
That he got by inheritance. He didn't work for
He
it.
didn't work for it, no. He didn't build that.
He didn't build that.
He didn't build that.
Let's take the High Sparrow's victim, Loras Tyrell. He also, what has he done for anybody?
This silver spoon prince,
Right.
son of the lord of High Garden. He whispered in the ear of Renly, telling him, you should be a king. Start a civil war with your brother.
Right.
That's okay.
And
because-
hundreds of thousands of people died because of this war.
Yeah, for me to be like your hand or something like that.
And then he switched sides just because it was convenient politically. That's not a leader.
Yeah, and he cheated against the mountain.
He cheated.
That's
That's like performance enhancing drugs. Jaime, we love Jaime, but let's not forget that he pushed somebody off the wall. He killed his family. He's a horrible person. Cersei. People prefer Cersei over the High Sparrow because he shamed her, even though she's a murderer. She's a crazy person. She's a thief. She's corrupt.
And they killed the babies.
Killed the babies.
They killed in the second season.
Right.
They killed all of Robert's bastard
Bastards, right.
children. That
The
was
babies.
cruel. That was cruel.
But no, people hate on the High Sparrow.
She went naked on the street. Ooh, shame, shame. They're so rude.
Shame indeed. It's. But there's another truly noble person in the story that represents the people. Daenerys Targaryen. She frees the slaves, the breaker of chains. Come on!
But she's part of the establishment, don't forget.
You are the only person that can say that a woman is a part of the establishment. She will be the first queen of Westeros. She breaks the glass ceiling. She doesn't promise pie in the sky ideas that everybody can have rights. Come on, you need reform, incremental change.
When you promise half a loaf, you will get crumbles.
You don't know how to work with the other lords. She can work with the other side.
That's the problem. The system is rigged. The system is rigged, and it's toward injustice toward the 1%.
Socialist! So who do you want to rule? Ramsay Bolton, the crazy person? That's what you want?
What about the Daenerys Foundation? Huh? Somebody looked at that? Somebody checked her ravens? Huh? She had to create a private nest in her office?
Every king and queen have done that for centuries.
That's not an excuse. That's why we need a political revolution.
So basically, let's keep it real. When people watch the show, they take the feudal system as a given. This is the way it is, so we accept things as they are. The feudalism does not threaten our own ideals because we don't accept them at all. But the High Sparrow ideals, they do threaten us today because we have religious extremism today. So we judge him by our own fears of what is true today.
Yeah, and that's why we need to want him to succeed, or at least the movement to succeed. Basically what we're saying here, the Sparrow movement and the High Sparrow is a direct result of the Game of Thrones, the nobleman Game of Thrones.
Of the policies of the 1%. Economic policies, political policies, legal policies, everything.
Yeah, he speaks for the poor, for the decent franchise.
Right.
He gives them hope, he gives them dignity, and he exposes the corruption, the hypocrisy of this system,
And the absurdness of it. Why should all the workers have nothing? And the Tyrells sitting in their castles will get all the crops that they didn't do anything for.
Because God.
Okay. But here he says, God.
Yeah.
He is using religious laws and religious rationale to say something that is true even today, that the rich and powerful need to share the wealth and the power with the 99%.
So the nobles have only themselves to blame. They created it. They created this monster because they spat on the people and they peed from the makpetza for too long. They peed on the people and told them it's raining.
For hundreds of years.
And now comes the High Sparrow and tells them, that's not rain, that's
Right.
pee.
Do you expect people to not be angry living in this world and being in such a shitty situation when they can see all the 1% with their fancy cars, fancy hotel
Yeah, yeah.
rooms, jet planes,
And
whatever?
all this war of the five kings. For what? For the ego
Right.
of the lords, I will do a better job than you, so I need to be king. No, I'm king. No, my son is king.
It's not even to do a better job. It's because this is the law that we wrote. So this is mine. Even if even if I would be a crappy king, now it's me because this is the law. Okay, why the law
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
say something else?
Enough is enough. When the gap between the rich and the poor, the 1% and the 99%, is so large,
Right,
sometimes it just collapses.
right.
And when it collapses, it always gets violent.
Okay, so people say he's not polite, he's not nice. Politeness is sometimes the weapon of the rich and powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They make the rules, and you have to accept it or just excuse me, please. And if they do not agree to change their mind and change their policies, you cannot get angry.
Yeah. A great definition for an elite that I heard from one of my professors is what makes an elite in society. They are the only group of people that doesn't pay for their own mistakes.
Ooh,
Write it down.
Write it down.
So the noblemen, they call themselves nobles. They're nobles. They're better. They're aristocratic. Aristoi. It's the better people, the
Right.
best. But they're not the best.
They're not the best.
In the eyes of the gods. What makes Loras better than some shoemaker in the flea bottom? Come on.
So basically what we're saying that the High Sparrow movement does not have democratic tools in order to change the system. The only tools that they've got are religious tools, and this is how they can change the system. They have no other way.
The only moral code that is relevant for everyone, nobles and commoners, is the 7-pointed stars.
That's the only
So-
way to break the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would happen if the High Sparrow were to win and overthrow an empire?
That will be bad. That will be bad, I think. That will be bad for the story.
Okay.
Because it's not from the club. I think
Okay.
part of the reason people hate him
Okay.
is not because the bad things he does towards Cersei.
Okay.
It's because people hate Cersei, but they want someone from the club, from the
Right.
noble club, to take revenge
Right.
and kill her or something.
Somebody from the fantasy genre. He's not part of the fantasy genre. He's a crazy pope.
Yeah.
Another reason that people mistrust him and dislike him is because he came late to the game. He started in season 5, so people knew Cersei already for 4 seasons. At first they hated her, and then they loved to hate her, and they have this love-hate relationship with her. And here comes this new character. We don't know him. This is strictly psychological because we haven't seen him enough. We automatically prefer Cersei over him because we know her better.
She's a son of a bitch, but she's our son of a bitch.
Better the devil you know.
Yeah, she's the devil we know. Exactly.
Okay. So let's say one of us, you or us, would go back in time to this story and be just some random person in Westeros. Who should we prefer to be in power? The High Sparrow or the nobles?
That's a hard question.
I don't think it is. I would definitely prefer the High Sparrow to be the God King, Pope King. Okay, so the nobles will lose a lot, but that's just a fraction of the people. Most of the people will get a bigger share of their work, more rights, more dignity, more respect. They wouldn't be the lowborn anymore. No lowborn, no highborn. Everyone is equal under the law and under God. That would be incredible.
Until a generation passes, and then the nobles will become the clerks, the religious leaders. So it will be a new elite based on this religious extremism, which is much less flexible.
Let's wrap it up. So if you enjoyed the video, please click like. All your likes have helped our videos get more views. Thanks. And please subscribe if you want to get all our videos during the season, after the season. And if you want to learn more about church and state in the story and historical inspirations, click this video. And if you want to learn more about the people, also historical inspirations and contexts, here it is.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, click on the link below. We'll be very, very grateful for all your help. We had a lot of new patrons lately.
Right. Thanks.
So it only helps the channel to grow and make us with more money. That's important.
And here are some of our patrons that we want to thank, also the others. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.